Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. Now we're taking a look at a Honda Acty 4-wheel drive with 5-speed manual. We're exporting a ton of these. You don't see a lot of them on the channel because most of them go to dealers that import them by the dozen or the half dozen. This one here is kind of cool to see it on the channel. Not a lot of people have actually experienced one of these up close, and so have a good look. They are fantastic little vehicles and can be generally imported at a lot lower of a price than, for example, a side-by-side like those John Deere things. Very useful. Parts are easy to come by around the world. Very reliable. Of course, 4-wheel drive. Some of them come with diff locks or axle locks. This one does not. This is a regular version of the Acty, and so you get front wheel drive and rear wheel drive with no locking differentials. And generally speaking, pretty capable, but I will not remind people, I'll let you know that because there's not a lot of weight under the rear axle, you don't get a ton of traction until it's loaded up. And then with small wheel sizes, you're a little bit... difficult off-roading might be a little bit of a concern. Anyways, we'll take a look at the condition of the car and we'll compare it to the auction inspection sheet. Let's go ahead and translate this for you. This is going to be translated from Japanese into English. It's a 1990 Acty truck, 4-wheel drive, auction grade 4 with an interior C. I feel like the interior is more like a B. The exterior being a 4 seems about right. A lot of these trucks are in kind of weak condition, especially by the time they're 25 years old, because they were a work truck and they have been worked to death. This one is excellent. Now, here's something important to note. This one here has 21,837 kilometers. But if you have a look at the odometer, there are only 5 digits in the odometer. That means after 100,000 kilometers, it rolls over and then it will show 0 kilometers, even though it technically would have 100,000. Now, I don't think this one has rolled over. The condition of it is quite good, so that's one point. Secondarily, these tires have like 90+% tread left on them. Basically a brand new looking tire, but the tire date is from 1999. So let's see, 24 years and no tread wear on the tire leads me to believe that 21,000 kilometers on here is actually accurate. Truth be told, I don't know. And I will say it changed over to a 6-digit odometer from, depending on the year, but I believe it was around 93 for basically everyone. Whether it be Suzuki, like everyone makes these, so that you can get them in as Mazdas, Mitsubishis, Suzuki's, Hondas. Oddly, no Toyotas, but Toyota has Daihatsu, which is a sub-brand of Toyota that makes their K trucks. Engine is a 660cc. Almost all of them are just naturally aspirated. The later models got turbo ones if you need a little bit more power. I think it's somewhere in the range of about 40 to 45 horsepower, but it only weighs 600 kilograms, and so it's not that slow, really. Anyways, no sales points, no notes, and here says interior dirty and wear, and the bed section scratched and dented. And if you look on the body, we have a U2, which is a medium dent on the roof, and then an AU2 on the back. It's actually kind of bad, but it's not too concerning. I'll show you in a second here. For now, we'll do a once around of Mad Mike over there. We just call him that because he's mad all the time, not like he's crazy or cool. Sorry, Mike. I mean, you are crazy or cool, but that's not why we call you Mad Mike.
Oh, no, I'm not Mad Mike.
But are you angry?
No, Mad Mike's the famous drifter.
And you are the famous YouTuber, as of today.
Not true. Okay.
Anyway, we're doing a once around. Mike's just here to pull our loader out because he needs to get fuel in it. Yeah, body's looking pretty good. The only concern really is that corner, which I'll show you in a sec. And then the bed area has scratches, and especially on the upper sides of these flip down things. And I should really open those up. Oftentimes in these videos I don't, because I feel like most of the customers that buy these already know the trucks really, really well. But if you are on YouTube and you don't know these trucks that well, I want to give you a chance to view that. Okay, I really like the Honda Acty. I think it's maybe the smartest looking out of all of them. Honda is known to be reliable. But I like how you can check the oil from here. At least when you're shooting reports, it's convenient. It has a dipstick right there. Come on, there we go. And it just spins out, and then you can check the level of the oil. Kind of fun. And yeah, you can get these as dump trucks if you want to. Pretty cool. Okay, let me show you the bed. So I'm going to show the details and the scratches and stuff in a second, but for now, I just want to show you this back one. Super easy to undo. Boom. Your back is down. Now, the bed height is very low to the ground. So if you're going to be using this for putting stuff in the bed, which is the purpose of the truck, you don't have to lift that stuff up pretty high, which could be a lifesaver if you're doing work. You're doing much less work as a result. You can also load things from the side, which in a country like Japan or any other tight country like this, that's the reason why these really exist, is you don't have much space for where you're going to be putting your work trucks. Say you're a landscaper. This park's a bad example because you can actually drive down a path in it. But if you are in a tight area, being able to load from the side without lifting over the side of the bed could be a lifesaver. That could be 20% of your energy consumed just lifting heavy stuff over the side if you needed to in a traditional American pickup truck. Of course, that one on the other side moves down as well, and you can carry approximately 500 kilograms in the back. What's 500 kilograms in pounds? I don't know. Times by 2.2? 2100? 2150? Or no, it wouldn't be that much. Good for forklifting?
Yeah. Slide a pallet of big stuff. What's the max carry on these?
It says so you're registered for 350 here in Japan, kilograms for carry, but you can carry more than that. That's just what the registration is. Cool. And you'll see in Japan there will be a mark on here for what your car is registered for, and you pay extra for a higher payload. If you take a look, our carrier over here, you can't read it very much anymore, but 2860 kilograms is what it's registered for. Next time we get it inspected, we'll have to make sure that that's visible. Okay, back to this. Damaged areas. So the edges of this, highly scratched. As I said in the other video that's a companion to this one, there are bed caps that are these rubber pieces that you put along this to protect them. If you were to buy a set of those, it would hide a lot of the scratches and clean up the look of the car. I'm not sure if it matters that much, but it's nice to have the protection there to make sure it doesn't get worse, because this is an area that's bound to get damaged more than anywhere else. The insides, the bed sides are not too bad. The back is not too bad. And then the bed has maybe a 20% scratch rate, meaning from the worst ones that I've seen are a 10. And the best ones are like a brand new one would be a 0. This is about a 2 out of 10. Not bad. There aren't any heavy dents, and it should be fairly easy to sand that down and repaint it if you need to preserve the inside. You can also get these bed mats for inside. You can buy them. They're rubber. They're cool. Okay, so damage over here. We have a pretty big scrape here on this side. And then this one here. This is the AU2 that they were talking about. So have a close look. It looks like the bottom of it got pushed up and buckled that. Okay. Now, I suppose, the roof has U2 on it. So for some reason, these roofs are very easy to dent. This one, way less dented than many of the ones that I've seen, but you can still see those dents. I don't think it's a terrible problem because you have to be pretty tall to see the top of it very well. And as a result, shouldn't care too much. So, door mirror, faded. Other door mirror faded and has some pretty big scratches on it there. To the interior now, which is generally good. It's been smoked in, but there's nothing absorbent in here really. So the smell doesn't stick around. You'll find that pretty much all of these have been smoked in. It's very common for worker type people here in Japan to smoke cigarettes like crazy. Door cards are faded to a discoloration. And then it's fairly dirty on the door handle here. Okay, we got a spot of rust down here. and a little bit right here as well. These seats commonly rip at the stitching. These ones are not ripped, which is nice to see, but they are fairly dirty. You're going to need something like a scour pad or a Mr. Clean magic eraser to clean those up. And then maybe spray them with a protective spray so that that vinyl doesn't go hard and crack. Because, yeah, over time, those seats just, 80% of them are ripped by this time. And then the driver's seat gets a little protective pad here, but that doesn't seem to prevent them from ripping. They rip right on this seam, and this one, and this one. Okay, you have wear right here, worn out the paint from the worker with his tough pants, wearing this section, and down here as well. Floor mats are rubber, and they're in good condition. Rubber pads on the pedals are fine. Steering wheel doesn't have very much wear on it at all. And you get old school style cranking windows, which are fun to do. A little bit of a pain in the butt to try to do that one down while you're driving, but it's a narrow car. You can reach over and not like you can in a larger car. Or like you can't in a larger car, pardon me. Okay, very simple gauge set, no tachometer. These trucks were like brand new. They were like 6,000 or 600,000 yen 25 years ago. And so I think now you can get them for like 1.1 million yen. So they're all very basic and Spartan. This one doesn't even have AC. Most of them have AC. My experience is the AC tends to not be a super cold AC, and they tend to break fairly commonly. So if you're buying one of these, you kind of have to be ready for the AC to break or for it to not work that well. Headliner is generally good with a little bit of what might be mold up here, but it doesn't smell like mold at all. And then the 5-speed manual there. Of course, you get seat belts. You get a back light for the back bed and an AM radio. You know it's luxury when it's only AM radio that you get. No tape deck even. Okay, so fuel efficient work truck, specifically made to be as utilitarian as possible. 4-wheel drive to get you where you need to go, easy bed to go, cheap on gas, cheap on insurance, cheap on tires, cheap on brake pads, cheap on everything. Anyway, that's going to be all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.